Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. First of all, let's give thanks to the presence of Almighty God because of His blessing and power we can meet again in this presentation. So today presentation, I'm as a moderator from group 3 with the material is about studying meaning. That's word meaning, sentence meaning, and utterance meaning. And in this group, in group 3, we also had 3 members. The first one is Rika Dwi Prastiwi, me as moderator, with ID number A121-22206, and then Dila Purnami Asi with ID number A121-22-168, and the last is Niputu Prartini Putri Santio with ID number A121-22-202. Then let's start this presentation. We shall presentation by the introduction. So the introduction will be explained by my friend Dila Purnami Asi. To Dila Purnami Asi, please.
Okay, before we move the material, I will explain the introduction. The first is semantics. Semantics is the study of meanings in language, focusing on how words, phrase, and sentence convey meanings. Word meaning refer to the meaning of individual word, including their denotation. It is literal meanings. Connotation, it is emotional or cultural association, and their sense and reference. Sentence meaning is the literal meanings derived from the grammatical structure and vocabulary of the sentence, regardless of contents. In the contract, utterance meaning is the intense meanings a speaker convey in a specific situation, which can depend on tone, settings, and context. These aspects together help us understand how language communicate meanings effectively.
Okay, then the next material or the next you should know is about types and characteristics of word meanings. There is the types and characteristics. The first one is conceptual meanings. This is a literal or core meaning of a word. The definition you will find in a dictionary. For example, like the word cat refers specifically to a small domesticated feline animal. And then the second is conceptual meaning. It is also known as denotative or cognitive meanings and serves as the foundation for understanding language. And the third is connotative meanings. This refers to the additional, often subjective associations or emotional response a word evokes beyond its literal definition. For example, like a word home may connote warmth or comfort or family, in addition to its conceptual meanings as a place of residence. And the fourth is collocative meanings. This type is derived from the habitual occurrence of a word with other words. For instance, like a word blown, typically collocates with hair. Okay, then is reflective meanings. What is the reflective meanings? That this is arise when a word's meaning is influenced by another sense of the same word. For example, like the word cook can mean a male bird but may also reflect a vulgar sense in certain contexts. And then affective meaning. This is the emotional tone or attitude conveyed by a word, expressing the speaker's feelings. Words like a darling or rascal carry affective meanings that indicate affection or mild disapproval, respectively. And then social meanings. This type signal information about the social context or relationship between speakers, such as formality, politeness, or social status. For example, like residence, informal, versus home, informal. And then thematic meaning. This relates to how information is organized or emphasized within a sentence, affecting interpretation based on sentence structure or word order. And then we move to characteristic of word meanings. There is word meanings are not fixed, so they can shift based on context, culture, or use. And then words can be polysemous, carrying multiple related meanings. And then the meaning of a word can be influenced by its grammatical role, collocations, and connotations. And then both denotative, literal, or connotative, emotional, or cultural. So both denotative and connotative aspects are essential in fully understanding word meanings.
Okay, I'm going to explain how sentence meaning is constructed and interpreted. Basically, constructing sentence meaning involves putting words in a specific order, applying grammar rules, and using correct syntax. This helps us form sentences that are clear and meaningful. In the construction phase, we focus on the rules of subject, verb, and object. These parts are arranged to express a complete idea or thought. Then comes interpretation. Interpretation means understanding the sentence meaning by look at a structure and the context is with its use. So, to fully understand a sentence, we don't just look at the words, we also look at how they are put together and what the situation is.
Okay, next I will explain the role of context and speaker attention in meanings. The role of context and speaker intention is essential in interpreting meanings in language. Speaker attention refers to the purpose behind what someone say, while context, including the situation, background, knowledge, and environment in which the utterance occurs. And meaning is not only based on the literal word, but also on what the speaker intends to communicate and how the listener interpret it using context. According to Grace theory, understanding depends on recognizing the speaker intention through contextual clues. The misunderstanding can happen when context is unclear, as seen in ambiguous sentence is like bark, which the call means the tree surface or a dog sound. Research also show that attention is influenced by the speaker emotion and mental state and is relieved through tone, word choice, and sentence structure. Effective communication happens when the speaker attention and the listener understanding align and helped by clear context and cues.
Okay, so the next is ambiguity. Ambiguity in language and its effect. The first one, you should know what is ambiguity in language. So, ambiguity in language refers to situation where word, phrase, or sentence can be interpreted in more than one way, leading to multiple possible meaning. Jadi itu kalimatnya atau katanya, strukturalnya, satu phrase gitu, itu bisa berarti diinterpretasikan lebih dari satu gitu. Mungkin maybe if we already learn about semantic before, we will know, like, we ever learn about this. In syntax we learn about this, like for example, the ambiguity is like I washed the car, no, she washed the car in the garage. So she washed the car, jadi maksudnya kayak dia ini menyuci mobil yang ada di garasi, atau dia menyuci mobil di garasi gitu. Kalau di semantik we ever learn about this. So I thought you already know what is about the ambiguity. Then after we know the ambiguity, what is ambiguity in language, the next is the effect. What is the effect of ambiguity? The effect on meaning are significant. Ambiguity can cause misunderstandings, of course, like I already told you, or confusion. We will confuse, of course. And then, if context not clarify the intended meaning, yeah. So we need a clear meaning. I mean, if the word is ambiguity, we will confuse and or misunderstanding. I think that's all. The next topic and the next slide will be explained by my friend.
The conclusion in semantic and pragmatics are two crucial components of linguistic analysis that, when understood together, provide a comprehensive understanding of language. Semantic focus on the literal meaning of word and sentence, while pragmatics, at the contextual layer, highlight how the situation, speaker, and listener influence the interpretation of those words. The interplay between these two is essential for fully understanding human communication, preventing misset and sensing clarity in both writing and spoken form.
Okay, I think that's all our presentation. If you had a question or something you want to know more, just let us know by type your question in WhatsApp group, and then we will give you answer as much as we can. And then sorry if there are any mistakes, and thank you for your attention in this video. And that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in the next presentation.